What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including WWE going all out to protect a wrestler's safety, the real reason why WWE has changed R-Truth's name, WWE realized they made a huge mistake, WWE has been called out for hypocrisy, an AEW wrestler calls out WWE fans, DOMINIK Mysterio visits Eddie Guerrero's gravesite, why Becky Lynch's daughter was forced to leave Money in the Bank, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. Now let's see the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at WWE going all out to protect a wrestler's safety. Now our top story today takes a look at the precautions WWE are taking in order to protect Roxanne Perez due to a recent incident with an individual on social media. A user on X set up an account that was focused on the demise of Perez, and he appeared to be counting down to a specific date. Additionally, the X account would dox Perez's personal information, including a home address. But WWE took immediate action on the situation, and during Perez's meet and greet yesterday, WWE did everything they could to make sure that Perez was safe and comfortable. According to Fightful Select, extra security measures were implemented for the meet and greet, and thankfully, nothing out of the ordinary occurred. Additionally, fans who attended the meet and greet have offered insight into the extra security provided by WWE, with one user on X stating, "Roxanne had a meet and greet today. She had security, all fans were patted down and no touching. They're taking proper measures to keep her protected." This is without a doubt the right policy to take, and it's somewhat of a surprise that WWE even allowed the scheduled event to go ahead. However, with that being said, Perez was likely heavily influenced in the meet and greet going ahead, and it wouldn't come as a surprise if she was of the belief that it was unfair if genuine fans missed out due to the actions of one unstable individual on social media. The account has now been banned by Twitter. Let's hope the platform doesn't give any other sickos some satisfaction. Next up, the real reason why WWE have changed R-Truth's name. Now, fans were somewhat surprised when it was revealed that R-Truth would be using his real name moving forward. Ron Killings has been used for the majority of his work outside of WWE, and it's unusual to see a wrestler revert to their real name this far into their career. Now, the real reason as to why Killings has done this is because he asked for it directly, and it will allow him to use the name immediately when he leaves WWE. This report comes from Figure 4 Online, which stated, Ron Killings did ask for the name change to his real name as part of his new deal, as many had suspected. The advantage is that when the new deal ends, he will have had TV time as Ron Killings and then can go straight to using that name on indies and for personal appearances. This is an incredibly smart move from Truth, as we already know that this WWE run is going to act as his final run. Now the Ron Killings name is going to have a ton of equity attached to it when he eventually leaves the company. Killings really played WWE at their own game in this situation. It was reported yesterday that he practically ghosted WWE, and numerous names, including Teddy Long, stated that Killings was happy with the WWE outcome and he was ready to explore new options. He didn't come across as desperate, and WWE were forced to reach out to him due to fan demand as well as talent outcry. Killings ultimately had all the power, and the WWE veteran deserves a ton of praise for standing his ground and knowing his worth. Next up, WWE realized they made a huge mistake. And Nick Khan rarely gets involved into day-to-day operations at WWE. However, when it came to the return of Ron Killings, Khan didn't have any choice. According to a new report from Fightful Select, Khan had to take over negotiations to sort things out, and this is when things opened up and Killings agreed to return. If there was any doubt remained, we have some more evidence of the R-Truth situation not being an elaborate masterminded work. Fightful spoke with a higher-up in WWE today who confirmed our order of events as reported, including Nick Khan taking over negotiations. In fact, we were told that when Truth had initially been approached for a return, that he didn't seem to entertain the calls. When Nick Khan took things over, things opened up. It was also reiterated to Fightful that Truth's initial departure wasn't a work. We were told that it's rare that Nick Khan gets involved in negotiations, but this one was important to the company and the locker room. Truth even made mention on social media that this whole thing was not a work. This was all genuine, even though Triple H hinted that this was all a part of a storyline. A Fightful Select report added that a higher-up within WWE said that the roster is ecstatic regarding Killings' return. The higher-up said that Truth being bought was something that they viewed as a good sign that the roster and fan response being listened to overcame everything else. As one would expect, the roster is ecstatic about R-Truth being back with WWE. Now, it seems that WWE really knew that they effed up in this situation when they released R-Truth in the first place. As PW Insider also reported, WWE made a mistake as they cut someone based on math and realized after that they had upset not only the audience, but more importantly, the entire realm of their locker room, many of whom privately made their feelings known as much as some did publicly, so the company course corrected. This doesn't mean that every talent will get a reprieve when the company cuts them, but Truth as a performer and locker room stalwart was a unique case. Now, it was of the utmost importance for WWE to bring R-Truth back, not just because the crowd would have continued to hijack key segments and matches, but it evidently caused a lot of friction between WWE management and talent backstage. To fire such an iconic name that was friends with just virtually everyone backstage is never going to go down well, so WWE needed to bring him back to win back the locker room. I mean, after all these reports, do you genuinely believe it was still a work? Of course not. WWE knew they effed up big. Next up, an AEW name calls out WWE fans. Though there are still a number of fans who believe that WWE worked the audience with Ron Killings' return. Even though it's been confirmed by numerous sources, as well as Killings himself, that the angle wasn't a work, some fans are still adamant that WWE firing Truth was just a storyline. AEW star Ricochet has lashed out at these fans on X this past weekend, and he compared these types of fans to mental patients. I remember when Tony changed Mina's music back to original music and fans shit on him saying, Tony lets the fans make decisions. But now when an entire company hires someone back, it's, oh, we got worked. Bunch of mental patients. Now, whilst this is somewhat in character for the AEW talent, it's only natural that wrestlers can see the issue with WWE implying that this was all a storyline and a work. WWE released other wrestlers at the same time, and to imply their releases were genuine whilst one was fictional is a very odd move that doesn't make a lot of sense at all. I mean, if it was really a work, are we going to see the return of Carlito and Sarah Logan? Next up, Triple H did not run Worlds Collide. Worlds Collide received widespread praise from fans and critics alike. As well as the in-ring action, praise was offered for the production of the show, with specific mentions of how the show felt completely different to a standard WWE Premium Live event. Now, it turns out that Worlds Collide wasn't a Triple H-led production. For this specific event, Triple H allowed Jeremy Borash to run the show, and that's according to a new report from PW Insider. As some readers have already summarized based on the video packages, last night's WWE Worlds Collide was a Jeremy Borash production. PWInsider.com is told that Borash was running all aspects of the live broadcast yesterday. Now, a lot of fans will know Borash or JB from his days in TNA, but he has actually been signed to a WWE contract since 2018 now. Borash does a lot of work in NXT alongside Shawn Michaels, and his current title is Senior Director of Content and Development. It's great to see WWE giving a different name the opportunity to run a huge show like this. Triple H has been criticized for doing too much when it comes to running WWE, especially with them having major events every 2 weeks. Triple H and WWE as a company putting their trust into a name such as Borash will definitely help reduce the workload for the game and may help overall consistency of the main roster product. Next up, WWE called out for its hypocrisy. A former WWE star, Odyssey Jones, has called out WWE in a big way. WWE cut ties with Jones following an accusation of domestic assault, and in the aftermath, Jones has been very vocal about his career being over following WWE's actions. He's now called out WWE's hypocrisy in bringing back Nikki Bella. Bella's ex-husband was arrested last year, but he accused Bella of being the true abuser in the relationship. Jones will call out WWE via X by stating, "So it's not the situation, it's just the person involved. Noted." It's worth noting that the post on X has since been deleted. Next up, Dominik Mysterio visits Eddie Guerrero's gravesite. Last month, Dominik Mysterio revealed in an interview that he wanted to visit Eddie Guerrero's grave with the Intercontinental title, and this weekend, Mysterio did just that. Mysterio took to X to show a photo of Guerrero's grave, and Mysterio had placed the Intercontinental title at the gravesite. Now, it must have meant the world to Mysterio to be able to do this, and Mysterio continues to honor Guerrero's legacy with his work in WWE. Next up, why Becky Lynch's daughter was forced to leave Money in the Bank. Becky Lynch successfully captured the Women's Intercontinental title at Money in the Bank, and it was supposed to be a special night for her, as her daughter was watching on in the crowd for the first time. But sadly, due to the crowd chanting "Becky sucks" at her mom, her daughter got upset and she had to get up and leave ringside, going backstage. Speaking at the post-Money in the Bank press conference, Lynch would add, "My baby was so happy when I came out. She was so happy. She knew her mama was going to do this. She knew her mama was going to take this home. She was so excited. She's really getting into wrestling and she could take the cheap shots from Lyra. She could take me getting the cheap shots. She could take me getting a little beat up. She could take that. But what she could not take was the disrespect from the LA crowd. Everybody chanting Becky sucks. She could not take that. That made my baby cry. She had to walk out of here. She didn't even see me win the championship. She didn't even see Lyra raise my hand. Disrespect. The disrespect." Now, Lynch turning this into an angle and having another kayfabe reason to dislike the fans is a fantastic touch, and as always, Lynch is on the top of her game as a heel in WWE. And finally, is WWE pushing Mr. Iguana? Now, our final story today takes a look at the potential of the WWE pushing Mr. Iguana on WWE television. Mr. Iguana took the world by storm with his appearance at Worlds Collide, and now fans are urging WWE to use him on television. Thankfully, it does look like this is on the horizon, as according to a new report from Fightful Select, one source in NXT stated that they will be pushing for him to make future appearances. We're told that the reaction to Mr. Iguana at Worlds Collide internally was, "We have to get him to the Intuit Dome for a Money in the Bank appearance," and that the reaction from the crowd didn't disappoint. There was also a lot of praise for his general performance, translating well to social media, with one NXT source indicating to Sean Ross Sapp that they will be pushing for him to make appearances. Fightful Select also adds that Mr. Iguana's merchandise sold extremely well. There are now internal discussions on creating new merch for him, including the feasibility of producing iguana puppets. Mr. Iguana is destined to be a surefire hit on the main roster, especially with the younger demographic. What do you guys think of the gimmick? Let us know in the comments down below. I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.